The American Dermatological Association has been the distinguished home of the greatest minds in dermatology, including legends and leaders who have made seminal contributions and have influenced generations of dermatologists. Extraordinary physicians spanning all aspects of the field, including giants such as Walter Shelley, Thomas Fitzpatrick, Aaron Lerner, John A. Kenney Jr., A. Bernard Ackerman, Stephen Katz, Louis During, Marie-Louise Johnson, and many others throughout the decades.
From the beginning, the ADA has been composed of the leaders in academics, in research, in organizational dermatology, and has delivered for the specialty a number of the current societies that we now have.
And when you look at our members and you look at the other organizations in the House of Dermatology, very often the leaders begin or are part of the American Dermatological Association.
ADA members have served as presidents of all the major dermatology organizations. In fact, the overwhelming majority of AAD presidents have been ADA members.
Those physicians in the ADA represent the best of the best. They are as good as it gets, regardless of their arena of expertise and work.
So you have this cadre of extremely bright, influential people who are excited about innovation and excited about change and concept and brainstorming. It creates an environment where people can think out loud without fear of repercussion and make progress.
The ADA is a safe and closed zone in which people can freely share ideas, where people come without conflict of interest, where we really are about being together and making things better.
What's unique is that while we have different subspecialties, we're all people who are very committed and very driven.
Where different thoughts and ideas are able to be presented. One of the things I like best about the organization is we debate, we get together, we really consider different viewpoints and really listen to one another.
A society of professionals who mentor each other, who help each other, who are personally involved with each other, and they know each other, which creates a very interesting family and a support family.
And it all began in 1876, a time of remarkable progress for the United States as the nation was celebrating its centennial. In February, Alexander Graham Bell made the world's first telephone call and patented his invention. The first transcontinental express train arrived in San Francisco from New York City in June, after traveling for 83 hours and 39 minutes. In Philadelphia, 6 highly prominent physicians got together on June 7th during a practical session meeting of the American Medical Association and decided to form a group for doctors who had a special interest in dermatology. They later convened at the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia and officially founded the American Dermatological Association on September 7th, 1876. The ADA was instrumental in forming the American Academy of Dermatology 62 years later in 1938, as well as the Society for Investigative Dermatology in 1937. From the start and to this day, the ADA functions as an honor society of the highest order, with membership offered selectively to the most accomplished academicians, investigators, clinicians, and leaders in dermatology. And membership has grown globally, spanning 44 countries, adding diverse and valuable perspectives to the organization. Its historic mission has been to recognize, discuss, and develop solutions for problems in dermatologic healthcare, research, and education.
You've been elected by your peers. You can't just apply and get in. And you've been elected because you've made certain contributions to society and to dermatology, and we expect that that will continue.
And as times have changed in the House of Medicine and Dermatology, so too has the ADA evolved and adapted while remaining an independent, self-funded, and merit-based organization.
I think the ADA has persisted for over 150 years because it is able to evolve with the future. And at every given age, the ADA is at the front lines of the issues of that time and grappling with them in a way that elevates all of dermatology.
Building on nearly a century and a half of thought leadership in dermatology, in 2017, the ADA broke new organizational ground by issuing its first public health statements under the leadership of then-President David Cohen.
We created a white paper, a public health statement, the first one being the ADA endorsing vaccinations against herpes zoster, and we co-opted this movement with the American Academy of Ophthalmology. But from then on, the presidency was an office that is supposed to follow in the mission and the ethos of the organization, taking something important to them that is important for patients or the public health or society as it relates to derm.
When I was president of the ADA, we developed a position statement on access to care in dermatology. That involves both rural areas where there's a huge problem and even the inner cities. This position statement brought together 15 leaders from around the United States, and we were able to show that there are things being done that positively can impact access to care.
The ADA can act as a way to kind of spark things that can then be perhaps...
And today, the ADA Envisioning Committee continually examines ways to weigh in on key issues to help improve public health.
Within the ADA, we have members who understand not only how to treat disease, but how to improve the healthcare system. So the Envisioning Committee we see as developing position statements, as developing guidelines that will really help the healthcare system overall do a better job of caring for all Americans.
But we would be in a position to do that.
In an exciting recent development, the ADA has partnered with the Archives of Dermatological Research as its official journal, which has been in operation since 1869.
The journal is very happy to partner with the society because they get the prestige of having the leaders in dermatology contribute articles to their journal.
In recent years, the ADA has been working on increasing diversity in the organization to better mirror the patients we serve and the medical profession overall.
Diversity is important because we know in the United States the percentage of the diverse or the minority population will no longer be the minority. And so we need to go with the times.
As an organization of revered scientists and clinicians who help others lead and fulfill their greatest potential, the ADA thrives on offering training, mentorship, and research opportunities for future generations of dermatology leaders.
I met, in fact, my fellowship mentor, Dr. Murad Alam, at ADA. Obviously, that had a huge impact on my career, right? Because I ended up at Northwestern for my fellowship, and at Northwestern is really where I found my footing for the rest of my career.
By being an award recipient, I was able to speak at the meeting, and through the relationships that I was able to foster, the introductions that were made, I was able to meet people from all across the U.S. involved in the latest and greatest in dermatology.
The social aspect of the ADA has been very meaningful to members, not only for the pure enjoyment of it, but also from the rich relationships that develop from time spent together.
This is the only organization in which we get together once a year with our spouses and some of our best friends, and we get a chance to talk about important issues having to do with dermatology, not as part of a formal situation, but also as part of an informal social situation, and that can be very impactful.
It's also an opportunity to talk about what we're interested in and how we can network and how we can collaborate and then bring patient care and dermatology as a whole to the next level.
We appreciate how amazing the organization is for bringing together leaders in the field and for getting us in a small group that allows us to think outside the box, to look at what's innovation today, to look at what are some of the controversies, and not feel constricted in how we speak our mind.
For those who are new to the ADA, becoming involved from the start is ideal.
It is absolutely key that new members learn the committees, the functioning of our society, and become engaged.
Someone a generation from now will write the next edition of the book. I hope that they will get from that, and also from their experience with society, the feeling of the camaraderie, the ethics, the professionalism, as well as all of the day-to-day problems which come up and how the ADA handles it.
We're not going to make a difference just by taking care of our patients. We have to find a place that's significant in the house of medicine. We need to interface with other specialists for our patients' sake, as well as to make sure that dermatology is respected for all of its tremendous contributions. We need to be the leaders, and we need to make a difference in the world.
As the ADA envisions its next chapter, we reflect on and honor our founding fathers and all the preeminent members whose contributions have changed the landscape of dermatology. We look to the outstanding cadre of our present and future members to carry the torch of excellence, integrity, innovation, and compassion, all in the name of service to the House of Dermatology and the greater House of Medicine.